you think you've budgeted for your move to Uganda, think again. Here are some hidden costs that will shock you. Let's get to it. Hi there, my name is Janita Maaya. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In case you love episodes like this, please go ahead and give me a subscribe and hit the bell for notification. Let's dive in. Connection fees that are meant to be free may not be free in actual sense. Now, when you move to a new place, obviously, let's say you've moved to a new house or apartment, things like your water connection, your power connection, your internet connection are meant to be free. I mean that like the installation of it. For example, like internet installation is free for some companies, but then sometimes the workers may need some sort of motivation to come through and install the internet for you, and they won't be direct with it, but obviously when you're talking to them, you kind of find out that, hey, if I don't give this person transport, then they may not show up. What I like to do is I let them know that, hey, I know that your company does this for free. Just let them know upfront that, I hope you're aligning with the company. And then obviously at the end of the day, I will go ahead and tip them so that I want to make sure they do a good job for me. Now, I can hear some resistance saying, you know what? Some resistance saying, oh, but why should I have to go through all this? It should be seamless. People just need some incentive to do something that they need to do. Now, sometimes some places have the water connection already up. Now, your meter may be blocked. That means water may not be flowing to your apartment. You can easily tell your landlord. If you're lucky to have a good landlord, the landlord may help you out. But if you're not lucky to have a good landlord, then that is a cost that you may end up incurring. Also, things like power connection. A pole has fallen. Maybe we no longer call it umeme. It's UEDCL. Double eye roll. But they may take their time coming to work on that particular pole. So that's where you have to come in with bribing a certain person to come and make sure everything is fixed so that you can sort of set it up. Another thing can be, we all know that when you rely on power from the government, now as it is here, it may not be as consistent as you want it to be. So an extra cost can be you having to buy like solar panels or having to buy like a backup power station. The second one would be security fees or security costs that may seem optional. I've heard of people who actually they contribute as a community or as a complex, they contribute for the security guards payment, which should initially come with the rent. But we've seen that landlords they're being upfront about it. They're like, hey, here's the rent, but on top of the rent, you have to now contribute to make sure the security guard is paid. And of course, and that's not something you can skip on because security is really important. So you find yourself that's not something that you thought of, or that's not something that you planned for, and now you have to pay for it. The other communities where you actually may have to chip in for like the CCTV installation or the maintenance of it, something that you didn't plan of, like, what do you mean I have to pay for that? Shouldn't the landlord do it? The landlord can do it, but sometimes I like to tell people, learn which battles to pick on and learn which battles to let go. And by the way, everything I'm telling you is it's not a must that the cost may be there, but it could be a hidden cost that you should be aware of. That's why I'm doing this video. Rent deposits. Now, I've not come across someone who has gotten the security back. So in Uganda, when you're paying for rent, we actually do it per month. So if you're moving into a new apartment, the landlord asks you for 3 months worth of rent plus one security deposit or security fee. They all charge that. So the security fee, they tell you, in case for maintenance, in case you do something, we need to use this money to repair that particular thing that you made break and whatnot. But if it's time for you to leave, most times people don't get that deposit, the security fee back. Because ideally it's they will come in and find something that they will use to say, oh no, we have to repair this, so we can't get money. So the solution around that is, when you're leaving, is to inform the landlord, I'm leaving in said month, but I stop paying rent in this month so that my security fee can cover the next month, a few weeks into the next month, or until the month ends. That's the only way you're going to get your security fee, because it's a few landlords that are giving you back the cash. That's just the honest truth. The next one is the soft taxes, like we call them, or soft obligations. Actually, I like to think of it like social capital, like money you have to put into you having a community. Because in this part of the world, when you're invited for birthdays, baby showers, or a ceremony celebrating someone, you are, it's socially acceptable for you to contribute something. Now, some people may say, you know what, you don't need to contribute. I had my friend who had a whole wedding and she was just like, no gifts. And I opened my mouth. I'm like, what do you mean no gifts? You understand? So people like her exist, but like that's the 1%, because the other percentage do want the gifts and they will consider it to, you know, be respectable if you do show up with something, because you can't show up empty-handed. So contributions for such things may be like soft taxes. Now you can say, oh hell no, I'm not paying any of that, which is true. You can decide not to pay any of that, but then with that comes you missing out on a community that you could have built, or missing out on some sort of network that you could have built for yourself. You know, that's something that you may not see coming, but there's a possibility of it being there. Now, no one is forcing you to pay the soft taxes, but they do exist. That's just the truth. What most people can do about this is they save towards that. So like you have your money called like social capital. Should a friend need something, or should a friend need a contribution, then the money is there and you're not straining and stressing yourself. Last but not least is the Muzungu charges, or you are not from here surcharge. Okay, now when you open your mouth, the accent may not be from here, and guess what is going to happen? They will charge you double. And that's why I tell my clients, you need to bargain, learn how to bargain. But I don't think you should look at it poorly. I mean, just bargain where you can. If someone is trying to cheat you, just, let it be. They all try. It happens to us too, you know, but it's just like, it does happen to everyone from the technical guys to the market ladies. Once they see you with an accent, they'll think you have money, because it's what the media has made us to believe, that anyone who's not from here definitely has money. So there's that. But yeah, that's a hidden cost that could be happening. The solution to that is to just know when you're being charged highly, try to negotiate, try to bargain, move on to the next person, or have a local do those transactions for you till you figure out what costs what. Maybe that's something I need to add in my ebook, like the estimate of what something will cost, so that people know what they're getting into. But yeah, guys, that is it pretty much from me. You may be asking, why am I doing this episode? I do have a consultation company called Maaya Consultancy. If you're looking to relocate, tour, or invest in Uganda, then I am your go-to person. My website is janitamaya.com, and I also do understand that there's a lot of scamming that's happening, and a lot of people who are not true to their word, and I want to show you that that's not happening this side. One thing about me, if you do book a consultation, I will ask you, what are you booking the consultation for? So you have to give me your requirements or what you need from me beforehand. If that is something that I cannot take on, I will drop you as a client and give you a refund. Because some requests be too much, and then some things I genuinely can't do. There's that. So I'll be very forthcoming. If that's something I can do, I'll steer you in the right direction. I'll do my best I can. But if you lack the common sense to help yourself, then that's also something I can't be held liable for, unfortunately, because sometimes you'll advise someone and they'll do something that was against your advice. In the end, it backfires. Now, who will they blame? They can't blame me, because I told you what was on the ground. You decided to do your own thing. Yeah, there's that. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Please support the channel by purchasing our merch, super shirts, subscribing, doing all the nice things. And I hope to see you next time. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Bye.